tensions have exploded behind closed doors, and what just happened could tear through the team like wildfire. A heated confrontation, a shocking decision, and now a player is out sidelined not by injury, but by pure conflict. The clubhouse is reeling, fans are in disbelief, and questions are flying about leadership, discipline, and control. What really went down? Was this the right move or a massive mistake that could derail the season? One thing's for sure, this isn't just about one player. This is about chemistry, trust, and the future of an entire squad under pressure. Get ready for the full breakdown of a moment that could define everything moving forward. It's been a wild week in Los Angeles. Not because of another walk-off win or a jaw-dropping Shohei Ohtani blast, but because of something far more unsettling behind the scenes. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts, usually known for his cool-headed leadership and calm presence in the clubhouse, has reportedly expelled a player from the team following a heated confrontation. That's right, expelled. Not benched, not suspended, but flat out shown the door, at least temporarily. And while the organization has kept a tight lid on the identity of the player and the details of what really happened, this mysterious incident has sent shockwaves through the baseball world and has Dodgers fans everywhere asking the same thing: what on earth is going on in that locker room? Now, before we dive into what we know and more importantly, what we can infer, we've got to take a step back and understand why this story matters so much. The Los Angeles Dodgers are not just any baseball team. They're a powerhouse, a title contender, a roster packed with elite talent, from Mookie Betts to Freddie Freeman, and of course the offseason's biggest prize, Shohei Ohtani. This isn't a franchise that tolerates chaos. This is a well-oiled machine with championship aspirations, and any internal disruption, especially one severe enough to get a player removed, throws a huge wrench into the plan. So here's what we do know. Multiple insiders close to the Dodgers organization have confirmed that there was, in fact, a major incident in the locker room involving a confrontation between Dave Roberts and a player. The nature of the argument hasn't been fully disclosed, but it was reportedly loud, aggressive, and involved direct challenges to Roberts' authority. This wasn't just a disagreement over playing time or a missed sign. It was something that crossed a line. Dave Roberts is not the kind of manager who reacts emotionally or makes decisions in the heat of the moment. He's been a calming force for this team for years. His leadership helped steer the Dodgers through an intense 2020 season to a World Series title. He's handled media storms, player egos, and post-season heartbreak with grace. So if a situation escalated to the point where he felt the need to expel someone from the team, you know it had to be serious. Now, since the identity of the player hasn't been officially confirmed, fans and analysts have been left to speculate, and speculate they have. Social media has been buzzing with theories. Some are looking at recent player performances and trying to connect the dots. Others are pointing to body language during games or who's been missing from recent lineups. And then there are those who are drawing on past history, suggesting that certain players have had reputations for being difficult in the clubhouse. One name that keeps surfacing in fan discussions is that of a struggling bullpen arm who's had noticeable friction with coaching staff in the past. Another possibility people are throwing around is a young prospect who's recently been called up and may have clashed with veteran leadership. Again, nothing is confirmed, so it's all just speculation. But the fact that so many people are trying to solve this mystery speaks volumes about the weight this situation carries. And here's why it matters beyond just the gossip. Team chemistry in Major League Baseball is incredibly important, especially on a team like the Dodgers, where expectations are sky high every single season. You can have all the talent in the world, but if the clubhouse is divided, if players don't trust the leadership, or if there's drama bubbling just beneath the surface, it can derail a season faster than a string of injuries. We've seen this before. Think about the 2018 Red Sox after their World Series run. A team loaded with talent but riddled with internal drama, eventually collapsing under the weight of its own dysfunction. Or the 2021 Padres, who were everyone's darling in the first half before spiraling in the second, reportedly due to friction between players and management. In a 162-game season, Chemistry isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. That's why what happened with Dave Roberts and this unnamed player is so concerning. It suggests that there's tension beneath the surface. And depending on how the rest of the team reacts, whether they rally together or start to fracture, it could define the rest of the Dodgers' season. Let's also consider the possible reasons a player might get into such a heated confrontation. Maybe it was about playing time. The Dodgers have a deep roster, and competition for spots, especially in the outfield and bullpen, can be intense. Maybe it was about strategy. Some players take issue with how they're used in games, especially if they feel their roles don't reflect their value. Or maybe, and this is something fans don't always see, it was personal. Sometimes clashes have nothing to do with baseball and everything to do with personality, respect, or even something as simple as a bad day that spiraled out of control. Another angle to consider is how this incident affects Dave Roberts himself. While he's one of the most respected managers in the game, moments like this put that reputation to the test. Did he handle it the right way? Did he try to de-escalate the situation before resorting to expulsion? Was there internal support from the front office for his decision, or is there a disconnect between him and upper management? Because here's the thing, when a manager takes a stand this strong, it can go one of two ways. Either it unites the clubhouse, with players rallying behind their skipper and saying, "We trust you to lead us." Or it creates fractures, with some players quietly siding with the expelled teammate and questioning the manager's judgment. And if that's the case, it could be the beginning of a deeper issue. From a strategic perspective, losing a player, depending on who it is, could also have on-field consequences. If it's a bullpen piece, that affects late-game matchups. If it's a role player who filled a key niche, it disrupts lineup flexibility. Even if the player wasn't a star, just removing a piece from the equation forces everyone else to adjust. There's also the question of what comes next. Will the player return after a suspension or cooling off period? Will he be traded, released, or simply left in limbo? The Dodgers are known for their front office savvy, and they rarely act impulsively. But if the trust between this player and the team is broken beyond repair, we could be looking at a roster move sooner rather than later. If you're as curious as we are to see how this drama unfolds, now's the perfect time to stay locked in. So if you enjoyed this breakdown and want to keep up with all the latest on the Dodgers and everything happening in Major League Baseball, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think was involved? Do you back Dave Roberts' decision? And how do you think this will affect the team going forward? Let's talk about it, and don't forget to share this video with your fellow baseball fans so they don't miss out on the conversation.